Good morning, everyone. It is More Good News Wednesday. I love the renaming of Wednesday from Hump Day to More Good News Day. It is More Good News Wednesday. We're going to just get more good news in the middle of the week. What more can you ask for? Everybody just think together, More Good News Wednesday. More good news is coming your way. That's because we have the right perspective. We have forgiveness and we have accountability. And if you are out there with judgments and conditions and attacking people, please find forgiveness, find gratitude and accountability. You will be well served. On More Good News Wednesday, here we go. Questions already rolling in. Awesome. Thank you. How do you control the energy around you? You can hold energy around you. You can't control anything but what is within yourself, which will impact the energy around you. And I think that's a clear distinction that a lot of people have to understand. You can't control anything outside of you. You can only control your mindset, your heart set, the way you feel, and your conscious continuum. Your conscious, your subconscious, and your unconscious. Those are the three things that you have control of that will impact that which you see, the illusions that you project. And too many people are looking outside of themselves when they should be looking inside with gratitude, forgiveness, and accountability. That's where inspiration comes from, not motivation. Motivation can come from fear, can get you up, get you back up, get you started. But inspiration in spirit through you with appreciation, forgiveness, and accountability to others, focusing in on that will serve you extremely well. What is the best way to send a cold call type of message on LinkedIn? Well, I think, first finding an open mind, and then asking someone, what they're doing today pertaining to an area that you think you could be of service or value to them of, and then ask them what they don't like or what they do like. I think stimulating interest, understanding that 80% of the people that you reach out to don't get back to you. So the better you get at getting people to get back to you would be an extremely valuable capability to have. And most people don't practice it. They practice thinking that they're closing a deal, yet they're cutting off the pipeline in the top of the funnel because they can't get people to get back to them, or they get a limited amount of people to get back to them. Imagine if out of all the people you reach out to, if 10% more would get back to you and then carry that percentage down through your statistical success of closing. Imagine the impact that would have. The same holds true of empowering others. If you empower 100 people to empower 1,000 to empower 1,000, that's 100 times 1,000. 100,000 times 1,000 is 100 million, but 1,000 times 1,000 times another 1,000 is 1 billion. A 900 million person empowerment difference. Same thing holds true in your pipeline. Get people to call you back. Practice it in person, on the phone, via email and media. Get people to call you back. Make a practice of it. I have a 5 to Thrive document to help you to learn how to stimulate interest. That's such a key gift and capability that can be taught and trained. And there's a variety of things. Imagine if you just get 1% better at it. It's amazing. In 72 segments that it takes you to get 1% better, it will double the success rate that you have using Einstein's rule of 72, which not only applies to finance, but also applies to your life and your capabilities and your pursuits of your potential. Can you touch on plateau and grow? Yeah, most people live the myth of Sisyphus. What does that mean? That means that they live pushing a boulder to the top of the hill all day long just to have it roll down to the bottom at the beginning of the next day. What I do is utilize my wind down routine at 9 o'clock and then transcendence of meditation at 4 a.m. in order to facilitate getting a baseline of my higher self, of my center, of my neutral, of my highest frequency, so I can use that to simply plateau and grow instead of start over. And so here we go. Simple goodness, sisters. Oh my goodness. Oh, once again, I think you need to, Belinda, Kelly, you guys need to upgrade your Instagram because it's not allowing me to join you. And we have had this problem. So log out, upgrade the Instagram, then come back in and I will put you back in. We had this problem last week as well. Jake, can you call and help, or Blaine, somebody help them? What will you need to show office hours be? Oh, what will your new show office hours be like? So it's not a new show. It exists right now, LinkedIn Live. It's a digital show, and it will be more a night show that's very simple, like a combo of Real Time with Bill Maher and David Letterman. So we will have me behind a desk, incredible co-hosts, and then guests coming on that are entrepreneurs learning from business instead of entertainers and celebrities. Unless those entertainers and celebrities and athletes are entrepreneurs, then we will have specific critical business issue discussions to help people grow and scale and make money, help people and have fun within their business perspective. So here we go. Can you tell us more about the No Bull Conference? No Bull Conference is next week. It's in Syracuse, and it's my first live appearance. Cannot ask for a better keynote with Gary Vaynerchuk, one of my digital marketing mentors, an incredible marketing mind. Every time he speaks, I just sit there and go, man, where do you get this stuff from? Because you are so on it. But come and listen to Gary and I next week on Thursday, and we'll be in Syracuse. It'll be online and live. We'd love to see you. Come join us. If you're a big Gary Vee fan, you'll enjoy it as well, or a Dave Meltzer fan. I think you'll like it. Are there any new impactful books that you have been reading? The Yogi's Guide to Karma. I'll grab it real quick. Crafting Your Own Destiny, right there. That's the Sadhguru. He'll be on my podcast, The Playbook. If you haven't seen The Playbook, definitely download it. It's featured everywhere. Spotify, Entrepreneur, Apple, Google. Doesn't matter. You can find it there. But this is an incredible book, a yogi's guide to crafting your own destiny. And I think understanding what you're connected through really helps. Let's see here. I'm sure this will. Oh, gosh darn it. Send a request. Let me try to send the request to you. It's just not there. It says Samir is here. Good morning, Samir. Give me a call, man. I thought you were going to join my private group. Let me know what I can do to help you. I'm going to send you a request. Well, it won't let me do that. So it does not have you. I do not know what to do. Please help. It won't allow me to join Simple Goodness, and I do not know why. The system does that. It will not allow me to invite Simple Goodness, my friends. So I do not control Instagram. I wish I did. I'd be in a really good place. We will continue to try. Please help. I don't know why it won't let you join. Can you send me a request? That would be wonderful. If you could send me a request, I can accept that. My friends Belinda Kelly and Venice Cunningham at Simple Goodness Sisters. Venice and Belinda are co-founders of Simple Goodness Sisters, and they have a great new product, a cocktail subscription box. And I think more than ever, I think I need a cocktail subscription box for what we're doing. What lessons have you learned so far this week? Grievances and miracles exist in the same frequency, and the solution and the problem are one. Those are the lessons that I've learned this week, and understanding with clarity that those solutions and problems exist in one. Same with grievances and miracles, and behind every grievance is the miracle, which is aligned with pain being an indicator, failure being an indicator, mistakes being an indicator, nothing more. And it's an indicator. So I don't know what creator account may be the problem. I do not know. I apologize, but we will make this happen. We are very patient and persistent here. That's what I say. And just working on making this right. Here we go. Who does Dave Meltzer think he can become? My better self. That's it. I think I can become my better self every day, pursuing my potential with consistent, persistent behavior, trying to live with gratitude, forgiveness, and accountability to inspire myself, to allow it to come through me with those three things to empower and inspire others. But I am only on a pursuit to my own potential. And that's what I hope and believe to be. Hopefully the Sadhguru can help me today on the playbook. If you haven't downloaded the playbook, go ahead and do so. We have over 700 episodes there for you. All my trainings, celebrities, athletes, entertainers, millionaires, billionaires, gurus like Deepak Chopra and Sadhguru. Can you get better than that? I don't think so. What are you focusing on in terms of self-improvement currently? You know, for me, it's this idea of grievances and miracles, and I'm looking for how they are relative to. I'm also looking at variant relativity. Variant relativity is meaning that which is impacting you the most has more relativity than that which doesn't. And how do we then put that focus on the variant relativity of making the right things more relevant or relative, and those things that aren't far less relative. And we call we call our people we were born with relatives, and with the bloodline. We all have the same bloodline. We're all connected, and it's just variant relativity. And who are we going to make relative in our lives? The most important people that feed us so that we can feed them. Very simple thing. How are we doing with my friends from Simple Goodness Sisters, Belinda and Venice? They have this unbelievable box for us, a cocktail subscription box, which is just sounds amazing, all natural. Hey, look at that view request. We did it, but we did it. All right, you see it there. See, patience work.
Hi.
Hi. It worked. Amazing. I thought it was me.
No, definitely me. Sorry. I guess I had just had a very outdated version of Instagram, which is typical.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought it was, but it's good. It teaches other people. We need to upgrade our Instagram. Anyway, I've been bragging about your subscription cocktail box. Give me a little bit of background, because I was saying, after using Instagram and the difficulties that people have, what better time to sign up for a cocktail subscription box?
Absolutely. So we're a beverage brand started by a farmer and a bartender. And so this box just kind of culminates on that idea. It's like a CSA for cocktails, community supported agriculture. A lot of people get those vegetable boxes, especially since the pandemic and the grocery uncertainty. So basically a CSA for cocktails, everything that you would normally expect. We harvest from that season. We make really cool drink mixers and garnishes and things so you can make custom cocktails. And then we, of course, include an education component, because what I've learned in the hospitality business is a lot of people want to drink really delicious cocktails, but they don't know how to make them at home. And so, especially now when people aren't comfortable going to bars and things, it's really nice to have everything show up at your doorstep that you need to make these really great drinks. And so there's recipe cards, there's videos, and it's a kind of a community as well. So there's a lot of interaction between us and the other Cocktail Farm Club members so that we can keep in touch and hear, what are you making? How did you use the syrup this month? And go back and forth so people can learn along with us as well as making drinks.
I think it's super cool. And it doesn't have to be alcoholic drinks. I know people are asking, and it can be non-alcoholic. It's a garden to glass concept, which I think is so clever. But more importantly, I love the community aspect of it and creating a consciousness around, supporting people who need, our support, as well as having a good time. I think it's completely aligned with, my motto of making a lot of money to help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. And that's what the Garden to Glass is all about to me. What are some of the other interesting aspects, being in the space with the nuances of this kind of garden to blank? Where do you see the future of this farm to table type of concept?
What I think is happening right now is there's a lot of like greenwashing, right, of farm to table. There's a lot of people who are just like putting a farm on their box to try to create that connection in someone's brain. And I think what's happening as a result of that is consumers are getting really conscious and really a lot more choosy and doing their research and really trying to find the people who are not just using the phrase, but are actually, sourcing in the right ways, producing in the right ways. And really kind of, because everything at the end of the day comes from a farm, right? Whether that farm is in a laboratory or, you know, a huge monoculture type of commodity farm. But it's really about how you're farming and then how you're taking it and producing it in a way that is, you know, holistic and delicious, but really focused on natural ingredients and natural, not even being like vitamin C. We don't even add ascorbic acid to our products because I can taste it. And so for me, it's not just about the purity of the product, it's about the flavor. And so it literally is whole fruits, berries, sugar, and water, and spices and herbs. So I think as consumers get smarter about that stuff, they start looking for brands like ours who they can really trust.
It's so interesting. I invested in a company with Gary Vaynerchuk just recently called Creatures of Habit. And the whole idea behind the farm to table concept and, you know, having all natural or healthy, holistic approach to things is that, you know, everybody just copied the Whole Foods. You got the light wood paneling and the garden logos and all this. And we're kind of going the other way. You know, we're letting as lawyers, they say, res ipsa loquitur, let the product speak for itself, and actually building a horizontal marketing strategy in order to effectuate, you know, the habits, good habits, with good quality, healthy foods, and utilizing that. We're going the opposite direction. We're going to make healthy foods fun and, you know, make it not so Whole Foodsy like, because so many people and consumers, as you know, I think they're getting worn out on everything looks as if it's healthy. And then you get, you know, what I call label exhaustion, trying to figure out the scientific approach to just because someone says it's healthy or they use percentages. You know, I know I'm an investor, so people use the percentages in a clever manner, and they do so in nutrition as well.
Yeah.
They play around with those percentages. What I love about your concept, though, it is a pure concept, meaning it truly is from farmers to a cocktail person, to expertise that blend together. What's your favorite thing about the cocktail subscription box? You know, as a consumer yourself, when you get excited about what you produce, I love people who are in love with their product. What's the favorite thing or the thing that you love about the subscription box?
Well, I love the flavors that we come up with for these subscription boxes. I love the back end of them, which I'll talk about a little bit. But I also just love that they're really delicious and they're fun and they're unique, and you're not going to find the same flavor on the market in a simple syrup. So simple syrups and cocktails, you know, they're used in like probably half to a third of all the traditional cocktail recipes, right? But it's usually a plain simple syrup. You might find like lavender or ginger, but we're coming up with really fun flavors like fig, cardamom, and lime basil, and everything, you know, is from small farmers in the Pacific Northwest. If we don't grow it ourselves, we can tell you exactly where it comes from. And then on the back end of that, what I love about it is we're actually using flavors that it's a way for our farm, as a small farm growing on 10 acres, to be profitable because we're making a value added product. So in our country, it's darn near impossible. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, but to make any money on a small acreage, because, you know, that acreage is so expensive, it's usually easier to just sell it off, right? And commodity farms are generally where the majority of money is made in farming in America. But if you can do value added products, if you can turn those raw goods into something else and then have a better margin, have shelf stability, have the ability to distribute nationwide, you can make money. And so our flavors are very intentional in that way too, because it's really about like what we can grow on the farm. And so as a consumer, I think they taste delicious. But as a business person, I'm like, these make so much sense, and that makes me so happy.
Well, I see Jason Waller here, the famous Jason Waller in the Underdog podcast. We have to get you on there. He has a great saying. He says he works out all the time. He goes, "I'm just trying to break even, Dave. If I can just maintain my weight." And I think him and I like to have a cocktail together. That fig cocktail seems so interesting and delicious to me. It's just, to me, how the world is going and how it should be going. Finding great entrepreneurs like you that take the passion and the purpose and provide it in a healthy way, in a subscription box model right to your door, which will only expand, grow, and accelerate over the next decade as well. So I really appreciate it. Please come back. I know we got shorted a little bit of time thanks to Instagram. Like I said, I wish I owned Instagram. I would have fixed it immediately. But next time we'll get it better. And a few more introductions for you. I think more people need to know about the cocktail subscription box, both for alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks. It sounds wonderful, and I certainly appreciate you. We can find you at Simple Goodness Sisters, you, Belinda, and Denise. Hopefully I
Yeah,
pronounced
you got it
it
right. Good job.
all right, good. And where anywhere else that they could find you, simplegoodnesssisters.com.
Yep. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for your patience with Instagram and me. And we will have you back. And I have some more introductions for you.
Awesome. That would be great. It was really fun to be on. And thank you so much for your patience too. Love it.
Awesome. Take care.
You too.
I love good companies and good guests. And that's what my friends at the Simple Goodness Sisters are. There it is. Yeah. Sorry, I should have picked it up before. We had it. Oh, my goodness. Don't be shy. Here we go. Jason Waller. What's up, my good friend? How are you? The superstar of 2-Minute Drill Season 1 and 2 now in the can. We're going to have distribution in June on Amazon Prime Video and Bloomberg still. An hour-long show with 5 contestants winning $50,000 of cash and prizes every time. And Jason Waller is awesome on that. And if you haven't checked out his podcast, please do. I'm a huge fan. All right, Dr. Marissa, are you here? Let me see here. I thank you for your patience. All right. Here we go. The pediatric hospitalist and founder of Hasima. Let me make sure I'm getting the right one here. Oh, Jason Waller, I'm having you join, brother. Let me get these people on. Awesome. We're falling a little behind. Dr. Marissa Mantravati, where are you, my friend? Jason Waller, thank you for joining me. Man, what an honor. I love when my friends come on. Bam, says Jakey Bakey. We were looking for Dr. Marissa. She's coming on. Hopefully I hit that right. I thought I had you join. I'm going to try that one more time. Here we go. I'm getting you there. I'm hoping my Instagram's working. Here we go. Hello? How come now it won't work? Give me a break. Please, please send a request. I'm sending a request, having her join. Where, please reach out here. Where'd she go? I am looking. Amster home. Can you please send me, I sent you a request. Can you please answer that, Marissa, Dr. Marissa? Unable to join, it says. All right. Let me see here. Try it one more time. I'm working on getting Dr. Marissa on. We are having a little Instagram. Hey!
Here we are. Sorry.
No, thank you for your patience.
No worries.
So I'm having Sadhguru on my podcast today. So I think there's an enormous amount of energy and influx that's creating difficulty for people to log on. So
no worries. I'm sorry. I'm pretty new to social media too. So it's I'm not.
You're awesome. So anyway, I grew up with a pediatric allergist, my uncle Eli, famous Dr. Eli Meltzer, and helped with all types of allergy medicines and understanding what disrupted child development, what caused harm to child development. Obviously, it's a huge issue. And even with the vaccination here, we're starting to vaccinate children over 12, I believe. And Pfizer came out and said it's perfectly safe. You are really, you have a new study out, which I want to learn about something that seems very toxic to me, something that's very obviously toxic to our environment.
Right.
Which is plastics. And so I'd love to have you share your new study and what we found.
Yeah, so it's actually, so first of all, thank you for having me. This is like my first live ever, so it's
Oh, you made my day. I'm always into that, so thank you. That's so good.
It's so cool. So yes, I actually learned about it myself from the American Academy of Pediatrics. So I'm a pediatrician, I'm a mom, and my girlfriends who are all pediatricians learned about this study that came out in 2018 and has just exploded with more and more evidence from American Academy of Pediatrics, World Health Organization, and Endocrine Society. So these aren't, small studies. These is like the literature, that we go to. And it basically says the chemicals in plastic are what we call endocrine disrupting chemicals. So they actually look like your different hormones that you have in your body, and they disrupt all those chemical signals. And it's really important because kids need this to kind of grow, develop, have brain development, but also for adults. So these chemicals in plastic are bad for really everyone. So it decreases sperm count. It's associated with like infertility. And in children, like the biggest thing is cognitive development, brain development. And so, you know, for me, I just felt like we already know it's bad for the planet. Now we know it's bad for health. Why do we have so much plastic then, particularly in the children's product space? And so they had recommended stainless steel to serve and store food. And I grew up in India and my family is Indian. We all had stainless steel at the dining table. It's kind of the cultural norm. So I basically was able to kind of, I have some here, like color stainless steel without the use of any toxic chemicals or additional paint, because I wanted it to be safe for the kids and really still excite them and encourage them to eat healthy. And so, you know, I'm hoping that with more and more products like this, and your last guest too, having companies that are really committed to quality and safety for their products, I really hope that's the future, because that's why I kind of joined this space of entrepreneurship.
Yeah, and is aluminum, is that comparative to stainless steel? Because there's so many water companies, for example, that are coming out with refillable and reusable aluminum cans as well, or bottles.
That's a great question. So specifically, the American Academy of Pediatrics policy statement really says to use glass or stainless steel. And if you think about it, you know, in my space, like in the medical world, we use stainless steel all the time. So because, you know, you see it in the hospitals, exactly. It's inert, and we call it inert because it doesn't interact with anything. So things that are inside your body, like the medical implants, titanium rods, those are all various materials that don't interact with your body. So they're essentially safe, and they've been studied the longest period of time. So those are the two materials that they recommend. And then for cookware, the other one that is recommended is cast iron. So, you know, that's a really simple thing for people to switch out in their kitchen. That, you know, bye-bye to all those Tupperware and kind of hello to glass. In the children's space, kids like to test gravity, so glass doesn't really work. But to your, you know, but to your point, yeah, I think tin was used in the past, but those are the three materials that are really highly recommended.
That's awesome. I have an interesting question. I think what you do is obvious. I would imagine very few people, unless they're in the plastic production, you know, like we see the old commercials in 60-minute interviews about, you know, different companies, you know, explaining or justifying what they do. But I'm always, you know, I asked my uncle this, my mom, who's been a teacher for 50 years, had 6 children herself. You know, for me, when you're in the business of protecting children, and then you're also a mom, which to me, you know, is, you know, just for being a father and married to, it's like an incredible thing. How do you reconcile the business of all day long as a pediatrician around children, and then come home, and do you see your children differently, or do they all just become the highest priority of your life? I'm always interested in the relationship or perspective of someone who has just surrounded themselves from the time they open their eyes to the time they close them with children.
With children. Well, here's the thing. I love kids, and I think it's an honor for me to have children in my life all day long, because honestly, they're the smartest, purest people on the planet. You know, and so it feels like for me, it's an honor because I get to learn from them all day long, whether it's my own children and kind of exploring their curiosity and asking questions and having that purity, or kids who are sick in the hospital, right? Like adults who are sick in the hospital often complain, or maybe they can't handle that same degree of perseverance and resilience that a child does. So I think there's so many lessons to be learned from children that for me, it's a joy. And so I feel like it's more of an honor, and they're so funny. Like they're just whatever comes to their mind. Like adults, we filter ourselves, and so it really is for me quite an honor. But I think for me as a mom, it changed me as a pediatrician completely, because before I was a mom, you know, I saw my patients. I love children, but now I see my own children in every patient, every single patient, and so it makes me, I think, a better doctor, and I think. You know, being a pediatrician at least helps me kind of have some tips and tools to use it as parents, but I can tell you that medical school does not prepare you for parenting. Like it does not translate.
There's no school. There's no school that will prepare you for parenting.
No, there's no
or marriage. And I've been
right.
married 23 years and I love it. But I tell people I cannot explain to you what it's like to be a parent or what it's like to be married. You're gonna have to figure that one for yourself. And everyone has their own experience.
On the job training.
Yeah, when I'm around children, I love and I dwell in their curiosity because I think we need to teach curiosity and continue curiosity and creativity. We tend to stifle that. And you're someone who went to medical school, so you know what it's like to be well trained, but you also know what it's like to be curious and creative. And I think we need to make sure that we're continuing to teach those things to our children. As much as plastic is toxic to children, so is negativity.
Oh,
and,
yes.
And so I think there's so much negative energy that we can help as well with those children. Yeah, it's interesting because I'm an empathetic. And so, I've studied in India. I've worked in Calcutta, in Mumbai, in Delhi. I still work with Kishore Lula at Eros and Sanjay Anduja, and I'm blessed to have Shiv. I have Shiv, and I have my favorite here today on my podcast.
I saw that.
How cool is that? Sadhguru.
So cool.
But I'm an empathetic, and I just have to tell you, it's so difficult for me to imagine being any type of doctor with children. I work with St. Jude, and I visited the hospital, which is extraordinary in the abundance of what St. Jude has done for research with sickle cell and with cancer, especially children in leukemia. And, I cannot stop crying. I would be the worst child doctor. You would come with me, with a broken finger, and I would sit there and cry and go, and the poor kid would be completely terrified. Last question real quick. How do you separate, because I know you're a mom, and I know what that's like when your children get hurt or they're sick. How do you separate that empathy for when you're treating the children that are sick?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to be an empathetic doctor. I think that's a good thing. I think when we're there, like that power of touch and healing, like there is it's such a noble, again, I feel so honored to be able to be a physician. And what I'm doing now is really kind of a broader picture of what I do for patients one-on-one, and kind of that, pediatricians, we educate parents and we advocate for kids. And so whether that's in the product space or in the hospital, but I think, to your point, those really, really challenging moments, right? When a child is really sick in the hospital, and being able to kind of empathize with those parents, with those kids, especially as a mom, I think it is a powerful thing because it lets parents and children feel what you're feeling and know that you're taking care of them with kind of the best of intentions. And I do think, there are hard days, I work night shifts. We've had, bad outcomes, and it's hard. Like that is a very big pressure, especially with COVID now and all of the frontline workers. I mean, that degree of emotional toll that physicians and nurses and other healthcare workers take is real. And so while, empathy is such a part of medicine, there is, you have to separate that when you come home, or else it'll completely consume you.
Absolutely. Well, where can people find you, find the research, follow you? Let us know.
Yeah, so it's called Ahimsa Home USA. Ahimsa is a Sanskrit word meaning avoiding harm. So it's avoiding harm for kids and for the planet. So you can visit us at ahimsahome.com, AHIMSA home.com, and our handle is at Ahimsa Home USA.
And if you want to learn about life, there's 12 lessons of the Sanskrit that I think still pertain today, that I live by. The 12 best lessons of Sanskrit, including life is about lessons, and the lessons will keep on coming until we learn them. And we are going to forget every lesson we've ever learned, but we have the power to access them. Thank you for allowing us to access those lessons with you. Please come back and visit me. Thank you for helping our children.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
You're awesome. Congratulations on your first IG.
Oh, thank you. I survived.
Perfect. It's amazing. She went to medical school and she knows how to use IG now. That's amazing. All right. Jason Waller, I want to give you another shout out. How wonderful is Dr. Marissa? She's amazing. Mantravati at Ahimsa Home USA, at Ahimsa Home USA. Pretty cool glasses. Let's do everything we can to protect and develop our children and ourselves. Entrepreneurs will save the world. I'm telling you, it's one thing to be a doctor. It's another to be a doctor and an entrepreneur. We will save the world. Thank you so much, Dr. Marissa. You're amazing. All right, where is Ashley? I don't know if you guys have heard of Ashley Armstrong, Hidden Rules. This is a wonder woman. This is an amazing person, and she knows how to use IG. Hello.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing today?
Thank you for your patience. We've had a Instagram live catastrophe, as they say on the
technology is beautiful, and when it's not working, not so much.
Yeah, I always say, thank goodness my car doesn't work like my technology, or I wouldn't get anywhere. Anyway, you're the Hidden Rules expert and a good friend of mine, and I want to share you with the world. I think more people need to know you and what you do. You can see your fans are all, yes, hi, Ashley. But I just don't think enough people know you. And so I wanted to have you on here so that people can get a feel for what the Hidden Rules expert is all about and who you are. So give us a little bit of background.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for having me. I love that I get to chat with you every single week, and thank you so much for inviting me here. But to everyone else who doesn't know me, my name is Ashley Armstrong, and I'm the e-commerce Hidden Rules expert. And I help established product companies find the money they're leaving on the table through my visual profitability method, which is using graphics to increase sales and conversion rates and the science behind it. And that's really what I love to do at the end of the day.
What I love about what you do is, as a woman entrepreneur, a milestone person for young women to look at to say what they can do and surpass Ashley. But it's a very quantitative business that you're in. So many people have great ideas and they're full of passion, but yet they're not serving because they're not profitable. And you actually are a bottom line person. You actually can help impact one of the fastest growing, if not the fast growing, of distribution and marketing of all products in the world, and be able to impact someone immediately by utilizing the hidden rules that the techniques and strategies and the disciplines that you've learned, the dummy tax that you've paid in order to effectuate the bottom line for people. And I really, I begged you to come on here. We get, you're part of my coaching side of stuff, but I was like, more people need to know what you're doing, Ashley. You have so many big things going on, but we need more people that are in e-commerce, especially, or want to be in e-commerce, reach out to you. What are some of the hidden secrets that you're going to teach and that you yourself have executed on to maintain and to accelerate that bottom line profit?
Yeah, I love that you asked that question. And really, at the end of the day, there is science behind the visual representation that companies need to use in order to show up appropriately online. And what I mean by that, really, at the end of the day, is people, when they're buying products online, they're not actually buying a product. They're buying pictures of a product. You can't touch and feel and smell like you're in the store. And a lot of the times people just assume that they can just take, simple images, white background, whatever it might be, and throw it up there. But the fact of the matter is we only have 7 seconds to grab people's attention span nowadays. And
I gotta stop you. That keeps going down.
Yes.
It was
15
like 9
minutes,
seconds,
like 10 years
then
ago.
It was like 8 seconds. Now it's 7 seconds. Oh my goodness. We're going to pretty soon have 1 second. That's it.
That's it. Absolutely. And this is what the beauty of the visual representation that I love to help companies with, whether they're multi-million-dollar companies or someone who's just starting out. At the end of the day, what we have to remember is that people only tend to remember 10% of what they're hearing, 20% of what they're reading, but 80% of what they're seeing. So if we take that into consideration, and then we actually look at the brain and how the brain functions, right? The eye can actually interpret an image in 13 milliseconds, but it can actually interpret an image 60,000 times faster than text. So if you're looking at third-party platforms like Amazon or eBay, or even your own website, but especially third-party platforms, because Amazon's constantly trying to get you to jump between product. No one reads anything. We know that, but they will look at every single image. That's a blog post, that's a product listing, doesn't matter what it is that's online. So if you only have those 7 seconds, the most valuable piece of real estate is actually the visuals, and all the visual information that is necessary in order to convert that person, to educate them. And you really want to make sure that you're hitting all the points so they don't get buyer decision fatigue. And I love that you're saying how you get the fatigue of the information that's on the product packaging. And it's the same thing when it comes to online shopping, right? So if you don't touch on the who, what, where, how, why, and when, you're never going to be able to convert that person, and you're just wasting the opportunity to help that individual solve a problem, which is why they're looking for your product in the first place.
It's so interesting because we started off today talking about the top of the funnel, how to stimulate interest was one of the questions. And that I think that people don't spend enough time getting people to call them back. And in the context of e-commerce, someone calling you back is what you're calling conversion, where someone will see something and then explore into buying it, going to the cart or putting in their credit card. These are all the actual pragmatic, practical ways of conversion. And the same to be held true in the theoretical things that I teach people is that, you know, you talked about 80% of the people go ahead and experience things through that visual context. And so we need to increase the number of people that are going to convert. And the best way to increase the number of people to convert is have more people. People don't realize that. They think that the better way to convert is to have better conversion. It's really not. The first step would be to have more people, and then you can convert at any rate and have a significant impact. And then you increase the conversion because you have better stable data because you have more people. And I think one of the aspects that you teach in the hidden rules is not just conversion, but it's actually building the top of the funnel, building the interest, stimulating the interest in order to increase the statistical success through that conversion that you have. Why is it that more people will be attracted to your product in the way that you present it and the visualization that you give it, other than your typical posting of a picture? And as you know, most of in e-commerce just use standard SKU pictures, and they use a database that pulls the exact same image, which even to me makes it more silly and worse. But why is it that it actually not only converts, but attracts?
That's a really great question. And at the end of the day, what I love more than anything is leveraging what companies already have. I don't like them to be building all these big, huge sales funnels and spending all this money everywhere else that needs to be, taught to be done. When you really already have everything that you need in order to be able to help grow your bottom line, in order to engage more consumers and whatnot. And so when it comes to the visual representation, as you've said, a lot of times people just throw things up there and think that it's good enough. People understand what it is that they're selling. And you have to take yourself out of there and you have to put yourself into the consumer's shoes. And we need to be educated in order to understand what we're buying, how we're buying it. Is it actually going to solve our problem? And really at the end of the day, what ends up happening, if you do it appropriately, you should be creating like a storyboard outline, just like as if you see those movie trailers and it's like, this is exciting. This is the beginning, the middle, and the end, and then come see it to get the actual experience or whatnot. So when you take the storyboard outline of your visuals that's on your product listing, no matter where you have it, third-party platforms like Amazon or your own website, what we're able to do is we're able to put them through sort of an emotional experience. And that's the other thing as well behind the science behind the visuals is at the end of the day, we are visual people for sure. We have kinesthetic, auditory, and visual learners, absolutely. But we're 100% mostly into the visual space. But our memory plays a massively huge role. And there's different sectors of our brain that fires and wires. And even if one part of our brain forgets one specific memory aspect, it will actually connect to another one. And so in order to create a really great long-term engagement and sort of support of the consumers who are buying from you, you want to hit three really important aspects. You want to hit the story of the product, create that story, right? Which is what we had just talked about. You also want to be hitting an emotion with that as well. And then the place. So if you can hit story, emotion, and place when you're showing up to the people, and the place we don't really have control of the place because the place could technically be where they actually use the product. And we don't have control of where they use the product. So we can't create a really big emotional connection and anchor in our memory for the place. But what we do have control of is how they feel when they experience our own websites, how we show up to them online. So there is a little bit of control over that. So when we're talking about the science of what I do and what I help people with, it's really just breaking down who they are, what they do, and who they serve and how they do it, and putting it into a storyboard outline that clearly articulates how the consumer is going to get everything they want and they want to come back for more. And they could also be individuals who could shout out to the world all the amazing things that you have done for them with your particular products. And they can be ambassadors, just all by the work that you had done just to set that foundation up for your business.
Amazing. People bound emotion for logical reasons. What you do helps to tie into that emotion, to compel them to execute on what you want. All right, I'm going to give you your shot here because I want the whole world to know about you as a best-selling author, where to go, how to sign up for your Hidden Rules export. Give it all up to everybody. Where can they find you?
I love that. Well, you can find me on Instagram, ashleyarmstrong.hiddenrules, Facebook, Amazon with Ashley's on Facebook, or thehiddenrulesexpert.com. And for anyone who wants to get a kickstart to getting their images upgraded, I actually have 4 drag and drop templates that are ready to go, and it's free, productinfographic.com, and that can help you get your images optimized and up and going in a matter of 3 minutes.
Well, Ashley, you have my stamp of not only approval, but of love. You are an amazing person. I appreciate you coming on and sharing yourself with everybody. I've been dying to have you on. What a great way to end. I'm almost as excited about Sadhguru today as Ashley
I
Armstrong.
can't wait to see that. Oh my God, it's going to be amazing.
I know. It's like when I had Deepak Chopra, it was like the same thing. I've read this whole book very quickly to make sure that I have the right questions to ask so that he can share. You know how I want to empower over 1 billion people?
Yep.
His mission is to empower the whole world. So I figure he's a great shortcut for me. I can just use him and I'll hit my over 1 billion people really quickly. So thank you so much for joining. I can't wait to do more. Make sure you check out Ashley Armstrong. She's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. Thanks so much.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. She's amazing. We have all amazing people, but extraordinary people today. And I appreciate all of them with their patience with Instagram and with me. All right. I got to go get ready for the man, the myth, the yogi himself. That's right. Oops, that's upside down. Here we go. The yogi himself, Yogi's Guide to Crafting Your Own Destiny, Sadhguru. I'm so excited to have you on the playbook. If you haven't caught the playbook, we got millionaires, billionaires, entrepreneurs, athletes, celebrities, and entertainers, and yogis, gurus, world thought leaders like Sadhguru. Amazing. I can't wait. Anyway, everyone, come join us Friday. Training is on coaching versus mentoring and all the aspects of coaching and mentoring. Jason Waller, thank you so much again. You're incredible. You come on live with me anytime. We'd love to have you. Just give us a little bit of notice as well. If I didn't get your questions, remember it's Wednesday. That's right. More Good News Wednesday. And we proved it already here today. Thank you, everyone, so much. But most importantly, remember what the yogi says. Be kind to your future self. Do good deeds. We'll see you later.